God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God, take it! 1, 2,
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. I'm Josh Maber alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
Not bad at all.
That's good. I mean, we've got a lot to talk about. We thought it was going to be a slow news week, and then it just contracts and stuff are still going on. And hell is frozen over for multiple reasons. Let's do the first one. Shane McMahon was pictured talking with Tony Khan. Mercedes Moné said that she was the one that took the picture, and then she filed for a divorce today. So, not getting into the whole scuttlebutt of Mercedes Moné's love life, more about Shane McMahon is talking with Tony Khan of AEW about doing something. Is this going to happen? Do you think it's a whole bunch of nothing? Is there smoke? Like, where are we at here? I'm confused. And why?
So, there's been talk about this, rumors that, they've been in touch, and it's like, it's talking, and first said, like, no, hey, we're willing to talk, but, and then, they finally, a photo came out showing that they had met, and Shane McMahon put out a statement saying, that through a mutual friend, they met to talk about stuff, and didn't go into much more detail on that. Whether that means he's going to go work for AEW, who knows? We'll see. I don't know. These days, I'm not surprised. I mean, so like, can't say, that's not going to happen because, well, we've already been past that with CM Punk going back to WWE.
And we'll get into that in a little second with CM Punk and WWE and all that, which is kind of the whole theme with that hell froze over. But a big scuttlebutt once this was, because this isn't like the first time that this has been brought up that Shane could be in talks with AEW, and we just like, that'd be interesting if it happens. And then we actually have the picture. Shout out to Wrestle Talk. I believe they were the ones, whoever they were the ones that shown it, that broke it first, which is kind of crazy. Typically, they just report stuff that they hear rather than actually breaking the news. So shout out to Wrestle Talk. You're getting there. Maybe one day, Ruckus Wrestling, we will break some stories. It'd be great too. But in the meantime, the scuttlebutt was when people are like, "Oh, if this is a bad idea, this is a good idea." I don't know. I'm indifferent. Is it a needle mover? I don't think so. But if they let Christian just go ham about his father, then we've got something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a needle mover either, but it would definitely be an attention grabber. It would be a news headline for sure.
I mean, it's an historical thing, if you think about it. A McMahon actively participating in a rival company. Now, granted, the McMahons are pretty much ostracized, other than Stephanie. But, other than Stephanie being there. And it was kind of back around 2016 or something that, Shane basically was getting... Vince was in Triple H and Stephanie's corner about... It was an episode of Succession, basically. And so Shane stepped away and was doing stuff with the Lakers and a bunch of stuff there. And then Linda was the one that basically kind of got him back. And then the whole Royal Rumble fiasco happened. And then he tore everything in his knee in that WrestleMania moment. And we never heard from him since then. Which, when Shane... At the end of that part, I mean, the whole best in the world and everything like that, like he was kind of pushing his weight around more than really helping the product, which I understand. If I'm in his shoes, I want to be in TV and doing a bunch of stuff too. But I just I want it to happen just to see what happens.
Right. I mean, so hello, Jerry Winkle. Was glad to see you. Yeah, it's like it's very interesting. I would expect a more like behind the scenes role, and not something necessarily on camera. I mean, yeah, it's hard to predict.
Yeah, even if he does behind the scenes, we realize Tony kind of doesn't really. Tony's way of the highway, and that's what
Yeah.
kind of got Cody. I mean, we don't know, but my assumption is that's the reason Tony at the end of the day was the reason that Cody is back with WWE is because they had creative differences. CM Punk, a galley of reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and all that.
There would be some irony there for sure.
Right. And especially that promo that Tony cut about this isn't Shane McMahon. No, this is me talking about I now own Ring of Honor, and all that stuff. So it'd be kind of funny if that happens with that. And then that'd be a crazy segment if they let it happen. Because I doubt they will because there's a lot of legal stuff still going on with it, so they really probably won't want to touch that with it. So I doubt we're really going to see that if it does happen. And yeah, maybe, but I don't think you get Shane McMahon and just have him as a manager. I mean, it would work. It works. He's done that many a times. But I know Shane how he is, and he likes to jump off high shit. So if he's going to be a manager of anyone, or if anything, it'd be just Darby versus Shane, and just see what elevation they can jump off of match.
Mm-hmm.
With that, so
yeah, it's just can we see what this leads to anything?
it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
And then today is officially contract is up for one Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
Now we talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stay with AEW. And we'll get into the match stipulation because we all like to leave those for the actual show review.
Yeah, this was reported recently, but Danielson confirmed it himself on Dynamite last night, so it's legit.
Yeah. Now, do I think Danielson's going to go anywhere? No, I think he's going to sign. Maybe it's a different type of contract.
Tony wouldn't have booked him at all at Wembley if he was worried about him not showing up.
No. I don't.
Brian's not that kind of guy to do that. He's
nothing has shown that Bryan Danielson is going anywhere with AEW. So I'm not expecting now. And if he beats Swerve, he beats Swerve. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But at the end of the day, I don't think this contract expiring is a big he's going to be back in WWE thing. I think it's just just to see if he's been talking about kind of getting out of the ring for a while now, and he even said he kind of did the John Cena thing of I only got so many days, and then
right, and his body, his body is like he's gone through some. He's got injured a lot, especially within the last year. It's like minor stuff, but still, it's like the body's probably telling him that really it's time to hang. You should be hanging it up soon.
Right. And what arguably a top 5 in-ring worker of all time.
Oh yeah,
probably.
I would sit there. One of the best of this generation.
Yeah, for sure. There's just and I'm so excited to see him and Swerve do their thing in Wembley. And if you're going to go out, might as well go out in Wembley Stadium, a bunch of 60, 70,000 fans.
Right.
And then a little nugget, speaking about Wembley, I know Triple H met with the mayor of London. We've been saying if AEW is going to do it, then WWE is going to do it bigger. Mm-hmm. But he's kind of already booked his WrestleManias and stuff for the next 2 years. So we've seen Wembley 2027. Is that I guess that's what the meeting's going to be. on that? Because I think it goes. No, it's just Vegas next year. Minnesota has SummerSlam and something, or do they have?
They have a Mania, but it hasn't been announced what year yet.
Okay, so that's probably what they're.
The only one that they've got the SummerSlam. They already announced the SummerSlam in 2 years, and that Indy is getting the Rumble, and then they're also going to get a future WrestleMania and a future SummerSlam.
Gotcha.
We just don't know the years yet. The only one we know for certain is that it's the first one of the deal is the Rumble in January, is in Indy.
Gotcha.
So WrestleMania is going to be in Indianapolis sometime in the next few years, probably the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, because I know the Rumble is in Indy next year.
Yeah,
that much. So and I know Saudi is fighting for. Everyone's fighting for WrestleMania. WWE just really wants to do the Wembley thing.
Yeah,
just to prove a point.
The mayor of London recently met with Triple H and Tony and Nick Khan, because he really wants WrestleMania to come to London.
Right. You know how it's a hot product is because you have 6 of the biggest cities in some of the biggest cities are just trying to get it there because they know how hot the product is. For that. Speak about kind of going back to Shane McMahon with AEW and hell freezing over. CM Punk to WWE for life? What's going on with that? Now, he recently did come out, and did they restructure the deal? They just finally announced that his deal is through 2026.
They announced he's a 3-year deal. And it's I don't think he's confirmed any of these reports or rumors that they're looking to restructure his deal so it'll last longer and stuff like that. So who knows? Things have gone so well with his return so far that I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. But I would wait until there's some kind of official confirmation from Punk and stuff, because it's there's just so much rampant speculation these days, especially from unconfirmed. It's sometimes certain people's sources are not the most reliable.
Right. But CM Punk did say at Comic-Con, in an interview, I forgot the person that was interviewing, I apologize, but she basically was asking him, about him going back.
Denise Salcedo talked to him. Did an interview.
Was it Denise? I thought it was another female reporter, but it might have been.
No,
Denise.
It was Denise. Denise
okay.
Did an interview with him at Comic-Con.
Okay. But yeah, he was basically said, she asked him about him coming back to WWE, and basically he said the thing out loud that we all figured is because Vince McMahon is no longer there. He was doing very political phrasing with it, but basically said, Vince is gone, I'm back.
Yeah.
And he was talking about
the biggest factors of his return was that Vince was bye-bye.
Right. Because this is exactly what's in this environment that WWE, at least from our perspective and what we hear, is much more of, and the thing that CM Punk loves right now more than anything is helping young talent. He always, every interview that you watch and listen to him in, everything that you, every documentary that you see, he loved helping out young talent. And he's really being able to, it feels like every other week he's at the Performance Center. Now, granted, his 2 quote unquote daughters are in NXT. So he definitely has, but he's always working with the young talent. And it seems like they're structuring, that's why he says, I want to be here for life now. It's not because of his wrestling career. It's because of the other things that he can do with training and helping young talent, which is why William Regal went back to NXT. Is because because the Performance Center, which we'll get into here in a second, the Performance Center is so great for not only young talent and building young talent, which this is Triple H's baby, isn't it? He was the one that kind of really put in the work to develop this Performance Center. Him and Stephanie, at least according to Triple H, it's him and Stephanie. But if anyway, I digress. But basically, him, Regal, is A-Train still there? A-Train's still the head trainer there, isn't he?
I think so. I can double check.
Okay.
I know he's still there because he sometimes you'll see him in Gorilla with
Sean?
HBK during NXT if they show the Gorilla position.
Okay. So yeah, but
Yeah, Matt Bloom is still there.
okay. So but yeah, I mean, and
Yeah, he's still the head trainer.
gotcha. But yeah, no, I mean, it all kind of, the planets kind of aligned for basically so far so good for Punk, even though he's been basically injured 98% of his run so far. But it's CM Punk, dude moves the needle. Just, I mean, like I said, dude has helped send a rocket to both Jack Perry and Drew McIntyre. Not that Drew McIntyre wasn't still a top guy, but now he really sunk his teeth in, and he's become such a bigger dude as far as personality and stuff like that. And then, yeah, it literally, and then Jack Perry I never bought into it until this new turn that he really did, especially after the CM Punk stuff. So, and he's even said, and CM Punk even said that, he goes, yeah, I made stars out of two other guys. And that's not an exact quote, but he said that.
Yeah. This also sounds like he doesn't have any further beef with Jack either. I think I've heard him say that recently.
No, he doesn't there.
Because otherwise, he wouldn't have. He definitely wouldn't have had an issue with Drew doing the photo with him that he put up on social media, but then took down. Probably because Triple H and then probably was like, yeah, I think that may be a little too far.
Right.
It's like, and plus, do we really want to promote an AEW guy? You know?
I think it's more of that. It's not really I mean, I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't think, because people were wondering, like, maybe Punk had it. It's like, the way things work, Drew would have asked Punk first if it was okay. And he wouldn't.
And Drew and Punk are real close, as far as I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, but I mean, Punk. But the thing is, Punk just showed on his Instagram a picture with him, Darby, and Brody King.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And speaking about crossovers, Joe Hendry. Hold on, I said his name. Okay, just making sure.
Oh, damn it! He didn't appear.
I did tag him in our post though, so maybe he might be watching. Who knows? But anyway, Joe Hendry has basically come out and kind of went over the structure of the partnership within TNA and NXT. So basically, he is working double duty, and he's allowed to be in both TNA and NXT, work in the Performance Center to be able to train to help his craft. So this is awesome. I feel like him and the Rascals are kind of have the same deal. You're dang right, John. You're dang right. We all do. We believe in that. But yeah, them and the Rascals kind of have the same shtick. Now, granted, Wesley is NXT, so that makes sense. Whereas Joe Hendry's just a straight up TNA guy, and they're using him. They realize this dude is hotter than ever. Yeah, he's hotter than hell in August. So, thoughts on this?
It's kind of crazy. Very interesting. It's like it's wild that they are such fans of Joe Hendry that you would think that he was a WWE guy at this point if they didn't mention that he wrestles for TNA. I mean, it's like seriously the way that he's been presented on TV. It's kind of it's crazy.
Yeah, and even his graphic when they put his name up in the Great American Bash, it had TNA next to it.
Yeah, it's got the TNA logo. So
keep going.
Yeah, I mean, they've done like this current phase of the crossover work. They've really treated both Joe Hendry and the Rascals reunion very well. I mean, it's like now it's like he's wrestling matches. He's like about to wrestle a second match on NXT. He's going to take it on Joe Coffey next week on Night 2 of Great American Bash after what happened on NXT this week. So don't it's like that's what you get for disrespecting Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
It's really cool for him because it's like he's so hot right now and the fans just love him. It's like WWE sees it and it's like it's good for him and for TNA that he's getting this kind of exposure. Yeah, it's like because it's like when they see him on here, that's hopefully will get people to go or check out what's going on in TNA and see more of him,
Right. Because he's honestly, he is between NXT and TNA, he is the hottest wrestler between the two brands. Easily. Yeah. And the more and more, of course, it's just always like you don't like the decision there at the time, but then as time goes on, you realize why they made that decision.
Yes, we believe as well. John Hill, welcome. Yes, Ruckus Wrestling is firmly 100% in believing in Joe Hendry.
We are
took me
pro believing.
Around. Josh was a believer for a while. It took me a while to come around until I finally got to really check him out in action, and it's like I'm a believer now. So
yeah, he's a 5-tool player, man. 5-tool player. He's up there as far as creatively. He's up there with just how his mind works. He could be up there with like a Bray Wyatt. Now that's the pinnacle to me. Is like the most creative mind in wrestling. But he's on that like everything that he's doing is Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm.
Like he made the song. He knew all that. He went through this. He did all that. He worked his ass off in the ring because his in-ring work is great.
He's got the charisma. It's like it's.
And kind of going back to it, the reason I was saying I now understand why TNA didn't put the belt on him, because if he's going to be used so much on NXT, the last thing TNA wants to do is have their champion like lose to a Gallus or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's like, because it's like, he's probably going to win the matches, but it's not a guarantee. No. I mean, so yeah, no, and that's, I know, because a lot of fans were really disappointed he didn't win the TNA title at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that with the crossover right now that, they don't want to risk having the TNA champion, get pinned on WWE television. It's like that doesn't help. That's not a good look for them. It's like, no. So.
Which would be interesting to see because I feel like, and we'll talk about it, but I feel like MSK is going to get the belts. And that's going to be interesting to see how NXT talks with TNA.
I have a very strong feeling it's going to happen. It's like, because they've been teasing the Axiom Nathan Frazier breakup for a while now.
Right.
It's like, and I thought it was going to happen when they faced Chase U at the last NXT PLA, but it didn't happen. So, but it's continued. It's like they're going back and forth, and especially because Wesley brought like, well, we never really lost the titles because they got, it's like, because when he got dismissed from WWE, it's like the fight titles were vacated.
Right. But I just feel like they're gonna, because a couple of times we were like, okay, the Good Brothers, they're gonna finally do it. Then
I can see them putting the titles on them for a little bit until they transition to like another championship. Just I think they definitely seem to want to do that for Wentz, because it seems like they're it's like it's everything's like water on the bridge here, and it's like all right, because like if he didn't have a problem, he wouldn't be there. So it's like it shows a lot that despite how he left WWE previously, that that he's part of this crossover, and he's because it's like times pass, and it's like he made some bad choices, and it's like, and he's owned up to them, so it's like nothing that can be like that's unforgivable or anything. It's like
no.
So
no, and they're just I forgot how good the Rascals are, and I just every time they just blow me away of how good they are.
This is nice for it gives Wes something to do before they move him into the NXT title picture, which I think is what's going to happen after this reunion tour.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's only going to last until the crossover is completely over with, and then the other two are going to go back to TNA.
Yeah. And speaking about crossovers, the last little thing here, and then I'll get a couple of Jeremy Miller's comments, and we can and then we can move on to SmackDown. CMLL came out and said that they're loving their relationship and how much it's helped with AEW. So that was a comment that came out. I don't know if you saw that. I think I just saw that today.
That makes sense. I mean, they put their women's title on Willow Nightingale, who's she's not contracted with them. She's AEW contracted wrestler.
Correct. So, I mean, that's great. So it's just weird. I mean, obviously New Japan loves working with Tony.
We're in a wild time here with it's like AEW and now WWE. It's like starting to work with other promotions to do things.
We're basically we're past. I think we're beyond the forbidden door. And we're in the screen door era. That's what I'm going to call it, the screen door era. Because you can, it's easy to get through, but there's still a door there. You still got to knock, but you can see everything. You can listen to everything. We're in a screen door era. I just now came up with it in my brain. I'm trademarking it now. We're in the screen door era of professional wrestling instead of the forbidden door. I did not see that because I did not know that. I have to look that up. That he did a song on Alive.
Yeah, I see it. It's pretty funny.
Okay. And then
you can find it online. It's not hard to find.
Yeah, we still don't know the structure. If you can find it, Jeremy, if you can know the structure of his contract with TNA, we all know he's contracted TNA for a while. That's all we know. Do you know anything different? Because I know Jordan restructured her contract so that it's up in 2025, so she can officially join WWE. But I don't know anything about Joe Hendry's contract. Other than that, it's for a while. That's all I got. So anything else before we move on to a recorded version of SmackDown?
No, not at all. Yeah, because this was pre-recorded before they did the Japan tour. Yeah.
So this is a recording of Justin talking about a pre-recording of SmackDown. Yeah. That's right. This is a video inception.
Yep. All right. Here's what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Show when Nick Aldis was talking to Bloodline. It was revealed Tonga Lowe suffered an eye injury last week. Nick Aldis said the Bloodline then won't be in the gauntlet match, but Solo said that Jacob Fatu will take Tonga's place in team with Tama Tonga in the gauntlet match. And then we had LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. LA Knight picked up the victory. Afterwards, Logan Paul came out and attacked, and he and Escobar teamed up to beat down LA Knight. Jake Hager and Bianca Belair called out All Fire and All Dawn for a tag team title match. That led to the tag team champion trying to jump them, but they fought them off. Nia Jax gave Trish Stratton a new Money in the Bank briefcase, saying that she knows that Stratton will never cash in on her. So then we had the tag team gauntlet match. Winners would earn a tag title shot against DIY. Start off with Baron Corbin and Legado Fantasma. Corbin and Apollo won that. Then they took on the Street Profits. Street Profits won that match. Then they faced Pretty Deadly. Then they beat Pretty Deadly. Then the OC came out next. Street Profits beat them as well. And that brought out the Bloodline. And, of course, the Bloodline won. So the Bloodline has a tag team title shot. Then A-Town Down Under, who are still at issue Terrence Crawford, either the crowd or in the back, called them out. They wanted an apology. Cawthorne ended up knocking Austin Theory out. There's an interview with Cody Rhodes about everything going on with the bloodline. Then we saw Andrade talking about wanting a U.S. Title opportunity, but Carmelo Hayes interrupts, say that things between them are not over. Sounds like we're going to get a rematch. So then we got to the main event. Tag team match, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton taking on Bayley and Michin Mia Yim. Eventually the finish came down. But Tiffany was behind the ref's back, nailed Bayley in the head with the briefcase. That allowed Nia to hit the Annihilator on Bayley to pin, and the heels won the tag match. Then we got a segment with Solo Sikoa to close out the show where it said he's fine with me and Cody Rhodes next week. The Bloodline is going to take the tag titles, and then he's going to eventually win the WWE title from Cody at SummerSlam. If Roman says there's a problem with that, he knows where to come, and it won't go well. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of last week's episode, that is, of Friday Night SmackDown.
So that tag turmoil was kind of predictable.
Yeah, it was.
But the thing is I was saying, like, man, Tonga Loa really sold his eye poke the week before, and then I'm like, oh, they're literally doing that so they can get Jacob Fatu in the match. It's
because they wanted to show off Jacob Fatu.
It's when you have Jacob Fatu, you go with Jacob Fatu. It's like you're a great guitar player and you write a song and the singer is better singer than you, but you want to sing it. Bullshit. We're going to have the better singer do it. Like, it's the same thing with this. It's like, we've got Jacob Fatu. Let's use him.
Yeah, I knew they were going to win, and now I'm worried that DIY's title reign is going to be really short, which will piss me off.
Mm-mm. Is this a SummerSlam or is it SmackDown?
It's going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, probably. If it was SummerSlam, I would say Jimmy would show up
in Cleveland, but it's not on the pay-per-view.
I can see Jimmy showing up and pissing him off.
But
it's a go-home show. They never do anything good for a go-home show.
Yeah, that's what
Get to it on Raw, but they never do anything good. But Jimmy, maybe? Or, because, I mean, the way they presented Jacob, he's not taking the pin. And then Tama, he's taking on Randy and Kevin Owens and all that stuff. They haven't presented Johnny and Tommaso as much as we love them.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't presented them like they presented those two. So unless Tom is going to take the pin, if DIY is going to retain,
I really hope so, because it's like I don't see Triple H doing them that dirty.
No, I still say DIY retains, but I just think Jimmy is going to screw them over because he's been cleared. We know he's going to be back. Roman's pretty much, I'm like 90% sure.
That would be
Roman's
a smart way to kind of
like
tease, like, oh, maybe there's some, he might cause trouble at the pay-per-view for him.
No, it's the perfect way to do it because they just announced War Games.
Yep.
For the city. So why don't they build on the War Games thing? We all know where the War Games is going, guys.
Yeah, because we didn't mention during the news, but Triple H announced today that Survivor Series is still going to be War Games, and it's going to be in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah. Wow, they're in Canada. I wonder who could join the OG bloodline to help them out.
And who will be really over.
Who will be really over. I don't know, one Sami Zayn. But anyway, I digress. And like him and Jade teamed up a couple weeks ago. Why would they do that? I don't know.
Exactly.
So
War Games
it's like the most.
It's what we were expecting, that the Bloodline Civil War would really kick off in War Games.
And this is what we wanted, though. It's not the fact that it's kind of predictable. I don't care if it's predictable. It's what we wanted. That's the reason we kept saying it's because we want it. With that, so
because they could do some stuff, it'd be either Bash Miller by Blood, and then you got War Games,
right,
for the escalation.
Yeah, it was good to see Pretty Deadly on TV though.
It was.
They came out for a hot second, had a cup of tea, and then they left, which sucked. But
yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. It's like it's like they were getting a lot of like a screen time and attention last year, and then all of a sudden now they're spending more time in catering.
Right. Dude, Jade and Bianca are trying their best to get this women's tag team match
They really are
happening. They're trying.
I don't care about what I don't think they're going to win the tag titles back.
No.
I think they're starting to build toward the split.
Yeah.
Because it's like that would be a disservice to Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They just won the titles.
No, and don't just
if
because
you really want to build a division, you got to have a champion that has at least a decent reign. You know, at least like several months. And
they're an actual tag team.
Yeah.
So, I'm with that. LA and Santos was a fine match, like we figured.
Yep.
LA's gonna win.
There wasn't much to this show. It was very predictable.
No.
It's like it was
you can tell
like,
it was. You could tell it was a tape show. And
yeah.
On that, I did like that they're really letting Mia shine. You can tell that they've got.
I like that.
Behind her.
It's like I like that. Mia's become a new ally for Bayley, and that she's involved in this main event level women's feud. Because it makes sense. I mean, because they've moved Naomi. They're doing a Naomi Blair Davenport feud. They're building that up. It's giving Naomi something to do, because it's like it was getting old, her being the only ally that Bayley had at this point. So
correct.
And it's legit. It's like if you look at social media, Mia and Bayley go way back. It's like they, it's like, so they've known each other for a long time. So I like it. The thing that surprised me the most was Nia pinning Bayley. I'm like, maybe because I was thinking it was highly likely she was gonna beat Bayley at SummerSlam, but now that she pinned Bayley via shenanigans, even though it was Tiffany whacked her in the head with a briefcase, which allowed her to do the Annihilator on her, she still pinned the champ in a tag match before SummerSlam. So it
could be worse. You could have been Trick Williams, who got pinned before his title match.
Yeah.
In which we had a problem with that. We're both never big on pinning the champion. Just not.
It makes me wonder. It's like, is she going to win the title or is she not? Or it's like it throws a lot of things into doubt. And plus with Tiffany lurking, and especially Nia Jax, like, I know you're not going to cash it. It's like, Nia, you're so naive. It's like, no, I thought you were smarter than that. Of course she will cash in on you when you least expect it.
I mean, just as much as it's
Tiffy time, man.
It really is. You can just tell, other than Bianca, Jade, and Bayley, and Nia, I mean, they've got a solid core there, but Tiffy just stands out.
She does. She's got that star aura around her. It's
yeah. And it's gonna. I want the blonde on blonde crime for when Charlotte comes back. That is the match we are going to be drooling for.
Is looking forward to Tiffany versus Charlotte when Charlotte is back.
That's going to be
going to happen.
Long-term booking. That is your WrestleMania women's match.
Absolutely.
Is those two.
Yep.
For sure. With that, and then maybe we might, and then who knows what Big Time Bex is going to do when they finally figure something out. But she's just happy to have some time off.
Yeah, she seems to be enjoying her time off and staying home with the little one. So
right. Is it strange that they've built Cody as like the biggest babyface, and Roman has become a bigger babyface without actually appearing?
Yeah, I know, and that's got a lot of people worried, and that's understandable. We're just going to see what happens. I mean, I've seen
when you've been the champion for 4 years. And then you have your biggest baby face, and it's all about the climb for the baby face. It's always is about the climb. And then once you have it
shows that the fans had enough of heel Roman, and they were ready to embrace good guy Roman again.
Yeah.
That it didn't take long for the "We Want Roman" chants to become very vocal.
No, and they know what they're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
But it's not like Cody. I'm not worried about it.
No, I'm not worried about it.
Cody's freaking Cody, dude. Like that's the dumbest of argument ever. But Cody's freaking Cody. Like if and he's the most babyface cookie cutter babyface ever, and people can't get enough of him because he's just so magnetic.
Mm-hmm.
So but yes, I did want to point that out that people are like because the heart wants what it misses or whatever. I forgot what that saying is. And so it's the same thing. Like when John Cena, who was booed out of his butt for about 10 years as being the top guy.
Mm-hmm. And
then you heard that pop when he came back at was it SummerSlam when he came back against Roman? I mean, that pop is ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about? I think it was SummerSlam or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people popped so freaking hard. I'm like, is this the same John Cena that we're tired of? Like, that whole thing. And then I forgot which pay-per-view it was. And then he came back and then he challenged Roman for SummerSlam and then Roman got over and then Brock came back.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's just Roman went away, took some time off, which he did during his title run anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, people want.
I mean, it's like they're telegraphing it. It's like Solo's really ramped up dissing Roman the last several weeks.
In the last promo, I'm like, I mean, I guess say the thing out loud.
It's like if Roman doesn't show up at SummerSlam, I'll be shocked.
It's just how are you going to do it? Because you're not.
That's the thing. Because like we'll talk about it when we go over SummerSlam card. They got to be really careful about how they do the Solo Cody title match.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, these SmackDowns.
This was a mass SmackDown. I'll say it. There was the Gauntlet match was long. It took up most of took up a good portion of the show, but it was fine. It was very predictable who was going to win.
All right, let's move on to Raw.
Yeah, please. All right, here's what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Show opened with Seth Rollins having a little chat with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre ahead of the match at SummerSlam. Seth laid out his rules as the special guest referee, basically saying that everything's going to be at discretion. He may call for disqualification. He may not. He may enforce countouts. He may not. But one thing's for sure, he told him that if they lay a finger on him, he will retaliate. Then Punk and Drew McIntyre had words. And they had a stare down at the end with McIntyre dangling the bracelet in Punk's face to taunt him. Judgment Day found their clubhouse in a wreck, and they assumed it was done by Liv Morgan. Then we had a tag match. The Creed Brothers taking on Akira Tozawa and Otis. Thanks to a distraction from Chad Gable, the Creeds are able to hit a double back-to-belly suplex to pick up the victory. They beat down, was on after the match. Baxter Debris came in and slapped Chad Gable. Chad looked like he was going to do something here, but then the lights went out and the White Six appeared. They all took off their masks to reveal who they were. And then Chad Gable ran out of the ring after they attacked and laid out the Creeds. And Uncle Howdy came up behind him and scared the crap out of him. And we had Sheamus taking on Bronson Reed. Thanks to some interference from Pete Dunne, Sheamus Reed was able to hit the tsunami and Sheamus to pick up the victory. Damian Priest cut a promo on Gunther. So Braun Breaker cut one on Sami Zayn. Then we had Jey Uso and Carlito in a one-on-one match. Not too long one. Jey Uso picked up the victory with the spear. Zelina Vega was attacked by Shayna Baszler, so Stark Stone Deville again in the back. They announced that The Miz, being from Cleveland, would be the host of SummerSlam. Then we had Xavier Woods take on Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross picked up the victory. They showed footage earlier of Jesse the Body Ventura coming to the show and meeting with Triple H. Then we had a video of Liv Morgan burning a bunch of Dominic Mysterio merchandise and promising to complete the revenge tour on Rhea at SummerSlam. Then we had Sami Zayn taking on Dominic Mysterio. The match ended DQ when JD McDonough and Carlito ran out and caused trouble. They did beat down on Sami, but Jey came up for the save. And then Braun Breaker showed up and speared Sami Zayn again and attacked him. They fought back, though, this time, and Braun was able to dodge the Lulu kick and retreated. We got a Dexter Loomis-focused Wyatt Sick video interview this time. Said that people should run when the buzzard starts circling. Chad Gable and the Creed brothers asked for a match against the Wyatt Six next week, and Adam Pearce granted it. Then we had a 6-woman tag, Lyra Valkyria, King Carter, Katana Chance taking on Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville. Heels picked up the victory, but after the match, Damage Control returned from their hiatus and attacked the new heel group. Damage Control there cut a promo saying that they're back, and Dakota Kai challenged Shayna Baszler for a match next week. Judgment Day gave Finn Balor a pep talk, and again reiterated that he didn't want any help, that he'd be able to take care of Gunther on his own. So we had the main event, Gunther versus Finn Balor. No surprise, Gunther picked up the victory. After the match, Gunther continued to put on the sleeper hold to continue to choke him, leading to Damian Priest running out to make the save. And he and Gunther brawled all over the ringside area, close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
Where do you want to start?
Oh boy, there's so much to talk about here. Love the opening segment. One of the best parts of the show, because Seth, Punk, and Drew at this point just you know they're going to deliver. I was not surprised that Seth was basically like, I'm going to be loosey-goosey with the rules because I don't like either one of you, and I want you guys to just beat the fuck out of each other. So I was not surprised when he was. So that's going to make things really interesting for this match. Punk had good words, and I love that Drew ended with bringing out the bracelet and shoving it in his face when they had to stare down. It's like it's all good.
Some people were saying, I mean, this was great. Because Seth Rollins basically was saying, and then Punk rolls out of the ring, Seth calls him out, and he was like, do you want this match or not? Get the frick back in my ring. And people were getting on, shout out to Seth, who did his best Beetlejuice impression. That's kind of what I got from him.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't wear that for the actual match. It's like, I get that the wild outfits are part of his character right now, but it's like, please don't wear that. If during the actual match, please.
Right. But no, I mean, I can't get enough of this feud. I just really can't.
It's so good.
It's so good. And they can sit there and say, because people are like, well, they've said the same thing like 4 times in a row, but it's still great. Like, you still cannot not watch with it. That's a big thing, is this Punk is basically doing the same kind of promo over and over and over again. So I can understand where people are saying that. I still watch for him.
Yeah, I think things will go into the next year after this match, because then we're going to have some more fuel, depending on who wins this match at SummerSlam, because the feud's not going to be over yet.
No.
It's like, we got Bad Blood coming. I mean, but it's like I'm expecting Hell in a Cell for these guys at Bad Blood. So, but yeah, it is getting a little. It's like things have been a little repetitive for Punk.
It's been 7 months and he's been injured. Like, what else are you supposed to do?
Now things are going to be more interesting, because now they're finally going to be able to wrestle in the ring now. So
right. So I understand the criticisms, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
There's some valid concern about the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Also.
So I was big on that. But yeah, no, yes. If you ask me, like, some people would sit there and say it was a straight up just like they didn't like the way Seth was dressing, compared to how big of a feud this is. So they didn't like that. They just didn't like, a couple things there. So it was, I don't know. It was weird. The one that I want to speak out on is we had more personality out of Dexter Lumis in about 3 minutes than I've remembered in his whole career. I mean, when he did, and I love the fact that they established him and Gacy are the tag team in 2 seconds. They established that, okay, we've got a finishing move.
Yeah.
We are the 2 guys that are working together. Rowan is the second in command.
So that adds more to the tag division. That's good.
Right. And I did not realize Lubins could grow his hair that long and get dreads. I mean, I didn't realize how long it's been since we've seen Dexter until I was like, oh, damn, that's your actual hair. Okay.
Okay.
And then someone did point this out. I don't know if you saw it. But they kind of did the bullet points and which is why I love the Triple H era. It's my favorite part of his very small story, long drawn out story, long-term storytelling, and the little details.
Long-term booking.
And his detail and his attention to detail that he did. Okay, so first, when Wyatt's debuted, they beat the crap out of everybody and they killed people, right? The whole joke. Then you had Sister Abigail or Nikki Cross show up and then hand the videotape. Then after those 2 videotapes, you saw Bo Dallas in Adam Pearce's office. After that, videotape showed up on Pat McAfee's show.
Yep.
And then now it's just straight up, we've got the video. So from them being outside and that meeting with Adam Pearce was what got them being a part of the WWE, which again, that's what Chad Gable was saying as far as like what's going on, like he's doing, and you're not doing anything, and he's like, and he was like, well, I've got my other things, so it's like whatever that meeting was with Bo, is carrying on. So I don't like what they're doing there. It's going to be a tough stuff for you, Giff. I know. It's just this type of stuff isn't.
Right, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fair. It's like some people don't care for this kind of one.
Perfectly fine. That's what's great about wrestling. Not everything is going to be great for everyone.
Yeah. Some people are not going to like it because it's not their cup of tea, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm fascinated. I mean, to see what's going to happen just because it involves Chad. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I'm finally like the fact that they finally had that. And Otis is still freaking over, guys.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is Ivy now going to join them?
I don't know.
That's the question. Are they really just going to just shove?
Yeah,
Ivy?
I don't know where Ivy is. That's the other concern. It's
with that, the one thing that WWE has mastered, I don't care if it's Kevin Dunn, me, you, or the new production people, their promo vignettes are so gosh damn good.
Yeah, they've been doing really good. The ones that Gunther and Damian Priest have been doing on each other have been really good.
That Damian Priest Gunther one, or the one that Damian, and then the Liv Morgan one, that was like I was like, all right, I'm sold. Like, I mean, but they've really, really done very well on trying to and getting Damian Priest where he is. They've done so well on booking him with that. Yeah, because Aleister Black is a way better talker than Bo Dallas at this point. That is why I'm with you with the House of Black is better than Wyatt 6 if you're trying to compare apples to apples. If Aleister Black replaced Bo Dallas, we'd probably be having the same situation if Bo Dallas was with the House of Black, but this is much more. It's just different for that. So House of Black is better because they have Aleister Black, bar none. I mean, there's no. But that being said, I know it's not working for you, Giff, but from my perspective, Bo Dallas is just
the
right now.
promo work from them so far has been fantastic. This is like Bo Dallas and Eric Rowan just poured their freaking hearts out on their other right onto their sleeves. It's like, damn.
I'm just very interested next week when we get Joe Gacy's.
Yeah,
because he's going to talk.
Oh yeah, and he's going to go over like everything that happened in NXT, Schism and all that stuff.
Yeah. What'd you think about the Sheamus Bronson Reed match?
It was fine. I don't mind. I'd like to see Bronson Reed get a win. They're not doing this is definitely a feud that definitely doesn't need to be on pay-per-view, but they're definitely going to be solving these issues on the show, which is good. Gives these guys something to do. Yeah. And it makes sense. Like, especially if you saw Pete Dunne's NXT promo, where it's like he finally was like fuck that Butch shit. We're waiting for that.
I was waiting. We're gonna wait on. I'm waiting to get my thoughts on the Pete Dunne vignette when we get to
NXT.
So I'll hold off for there.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert: I liked it, but I'll give my more opinion on that. The next one, I really liked. I'm like good and bad with the Final Judgment.
Yes, Final Testament.
Final Testament. Sorry, I'm still trying to get.
I know. Sometimes I mess up their name too. It's all right.
Yeah. Anyway, I really liked Karrion Kross's promo. This is probably the best promo he's had in a while. When he was like really ripping into Kofi and all the other stuff. That being said, what's their purpose? Like, what are they trying to do?
Yeah. What's the purpose?
That's what I want to know at this point. Other than just being, ooh, bad. We're going to attack people.
Right.
Bad people. We're bad. Like that was a great promo, but I can also see him getting to that Bray Wyatt rambling rabbit. Where are we going with this situation? Because that they're still trying to build them. They've invested time and effort into building this faction, into doing something. But where is the direction? That's what I want to know. Because Karrion, great promo, solid match.
Oh yeah,
I was invested. You had me. But where are we going? Where do you think they're going with it?
I don't know. If they, you would think it'd be the breakup of New Day, but I'd be shocked if they actually pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah, they're trying to do that whole, trying to get like the Wyatts back in the day where Randy Orton joined them and Bryan Danielson joined them and all that other stuff. But yeah, and then I kind of just molded the Carlito and Dominic matches together because they kind of were the same match to me. Mm-hmm. But are we finally going to take the next step forward in this Judgment Day? What are we doing here, guys? Storyline. Are we finally going to get that at SummerSlam where we take the next step?
I feel like it is because it's like I don't want this to drag out for too much longer. Honestly,
the only reason I bring that up,
seriously, because of the way the storyline goes, I question if Liv actually was the one who wrecked the clubhouse.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that is because we figured the Chad Gable Otis stuff and the Creeds would join them at Clash of the Castle. And then we just kind of did a weird blow off. It didn't happen, and then he lost, and then we did a weird blow off on Raw. It felt like they didn't.
I'm expecting the turn because Rhea forgave Dom pretty quickly, so it's like that's why I'm expecting he's going to cost her the match. The question is whether it'll look like it was an accident, and then shortly thereafter it's revealed that it was not an accident, or it's very clear that he's turned on her and sided with Liv.
Right.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. And then hey, guess what? You know how like we had a debut of 3 women that are badass and they're all in black?
Yep.
Guess what, guys? You're gonna be challenged by a returning faction that was all in black that are badass. Like that was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, we got faction wars going on in the women's division.
Right. Here. Plus, crowd, can you pop for Damage Control? Oh wait, it's no, like, Triple H, you did
Sony this. Them a name because like Damage Control still has a name.
I think Mia tweeted out something at like with their hand symbol, and that she called him something. So I think Mia
Yeah,
might
but
have,
it's not. But that's on just
but
that's not
right,
official. It's
because
like
you know how her and Dakota and Mia,
oh yeah,
Dakota, Shayna, and then Jasmine
or
were
very tight.
all yeah. I mean they're the best roommates ever. That's their whole
Yeah.
thing. I don't know if they still all four live together. Obviously, I
No,
don't think
no,
Mia would be,
no,
but she's married to Keith Lee.
no. Her and Keith bought a house and lived
And then
together.
Dakota just she just kind of showed a picture of her, and I forget who was the guy that was
She's apparently dating Eddie Thorpe.
Eddie
from
Thorpe.
NXT.
That's it. Thank you. So there's that. But I mean, I'm liking they are trying with their women's division.
Yeah.
As far as getting teams, tag teams, and other stars. Because we were nervous saying, you know, going all the way back with Zoe Stark, after that Trish Stratus stuff ended, I'm like, all right, come on. All right, now she's got momentum behind her. Do something. But I was nervous because
I'm hopefully we'll see Asuka against her because she was on the Japan tour
right
without a brace on for, you know, 'cause she had to get knee surgery. She was walking around pretty good, so hopefully that means that she'll be back relatively soon.
But Katana Chance, she did get injured. I don't know if you saw that. She got a bloody she got a little fractured nose or cut on her nose or something. But they were making sure it wasn't broken. But as far as I know, it wasn't broken. In that match. So, yeah, that's right, guys. She was bloody and all that stuff. It's fake. Yeah, they don't actually hit each other. And then ending, dude, did you see like all the wrestlers that have gotten into a match with like the photos of all like the wrestlers and their chest after they get done doing a Gunther match, like them just being blood red?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that? I thought that was hilarious. It was like after this Finn Balor Gunther match and all of that. I mean, it's Gunther, man. He's so just good.
He is.
It's ridiculous.
You know what I like is that they didn't have a definitive like one person standing over the other kind of thing. Kind of like that usually like foreshadows like who may be winning at the pay-per-view. They left it at just they were just brawling and beat the hell out of each other. So it kind of leaves it open as what's going to happen in the match. I still think Gunther's winning, but we'll go more into that.
That's the thing what they're doing with this and the Solo thing. I mean, they got Solo. When you do a hashtag SummerSlam, Solo is a little emoji next to it, and they're really pushing with all of his, you know, because they basically took out all of Cody's friends. So
they want to make you think that oh geez, there's no way Cody can beat him. It's like it's like all his friends have been beaten up. He says he's going at it alone. It's like the bloodline's got him outnumbered 4-1. How is he supposed to win?
Yeah, and also too, when I was watching that vignette, kind of going back and forth with Gunther and Damian, this episode, it finally dawned on me. I'm like, this is the feud that Gunther and Damian have been dreaming for, of just these two just fighting forever type of, you know, like an LA Knight Logan Paul or even Roman Cody type of thing. Like you can sit there and say like these two could just go forever, or CM Punk McIntyre / Seth Rollins. Like you can just see those type of like Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, for example, as well. Like those type of just blood feuds that you can just, I can buy into, and anytime, I don't care if it's 100% booking, 50-50 booking, whatever you want to do, it's going to be very hard for me to get bored of when those two face off each other, that the crowd just doesn't pop because they just love that feud. And that's where it dawned on me, like, they've done such a good job of Gunther and Damian Priest that this could just keep happening, and I would be totally fine with it.
Yep.
With that. So, any other thoughts on Raw before we move on?
Nope, I think that pretty much covers it.
Well, let's move on to AEW Dynamite. Don't leave us, Bryan Danielson.
All right, here's what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Show opened with MJF cutting a promo, dissing the fans and dissing Will Ospreay ahead of their title match at All In. Ospreay came out and MJF ran away. He cut a promo in response, promising that he's going to do extremely violent things and take the title back in his home country. Then we had Will Ospreay taking on Lance Archer in an opening match. Took 2 hidden blades, but Will Ospreay was finally able to put Archer down. After the match, MJF attacked him from behind. This led to Kyle Fletcher coming out to make the save with Don Callis in tow. Fletcher cut a promo saying he's tired of MJF and that him attacking his best friend who's like family to him, and challenged MJF to a match next week. Big Bill had a cake to give to Chris Jericho celebrating his 102 days as FTW champion. Jericho promised revenge on Shibata at the hands of Brian Keith. Alex Morales got to keep the cake, though. Then we had a non-title match, Eliminator, Will Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. Statlander wants you to get a title shot. Thanks to some shenanigans, Stokely Hathaway, Statlander used a chain to knock Willow silly and pin her to pick up the victory, earning herself a CML Women's title shot. She went and attacked Nightingale with a steel chair, but referees and officials came out to stop her. Bryan Danielson came out to cut a promo ahead of his title match against Swerve at All In. Said he made a lot of promises, talked about promising his daughter that he'd stop wrestling when she was 7. And, it's like his contract's ending this week. But he promises that he's going to be all in and give everything he's got to finally win the AEW World Championship. Swerve came out, said that while he respects him and everything and would normally root for him, he's trying to take the title from him. He's the best in the world, and he's going to prove it by beating him. And then before Swerve could leave, Danielson added some spice to the match by saying that he promised that if he cannot defeat Swerve and loses, he will retire for good. And they shook hands. Then we had a 6-man tag. Roderick Strong, the Beast Mortos, and Roosh taking on the Conglomeration. The bad guys picked up the victory. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn cut a promo on FTR, who called them out last week, and said that since they didn't show up tonight, they'll be coming to find them at Collision instead. Mariah May had an interview with Renee Paquette, reiterating some of the stuff about Toni Storm, build for a match. After the interview was over, Toni Storm came out on stage with a shoe in one hand and the title in the other. Says while she loved May too, she is going to be in for a romance of a lifetime and All In. They showed footage of Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné getting into it at San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, where Tony Khan finally had enough and announced that they would face each other for the TBS title at All In. Mercedes came out with Camille, who squashed Brittany Jade in about a minute. After the match, Mercedes cut a promo saying that Camille is part of her corporation now and that she can't stand Britt Baker and that she got the Young Bucks to suspend her temporarily, so she wasn't there tonight. She said that she's tired of Britt saying that this is the house she built. It's Mercedes' house now, and she's going to turn into a mansion and take her out. Then we had the main event, Darby Allin taking on Hangman and Page. Good stuff between these two. Finally, Darby was able to win by countering a Deadeye and turned into a roll-up and was able to pin Page for the victory. Page didn't take it very well and threw a temper tantrum, tossing chairs and other stuff in frustration to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
I'll lead off with this. Who's the biggest women's wrestler right now? Toni Storm or Rhea Ripley?
I'd give the edge in Rhea being a little bit more, but Tony's pretty close as far as popularity, I think, with the fans. She is this timeless character, especially now that Mariah. It took Mariah, and what they're doing with this feud is because it was great, but it was just like
It was just another opponent.
Yeah, it got really good, and then the whole relationship with Ryan May happened, and it went like, and it's been like just been through the roof ever since. And I loved how she's like just like completely like pissed off, unhinged right now.
Oh yeah, just her
betrayal
just taking
and
the shoe, just beating her head in and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, this is a great thing, and it's just her. There
Yeah.
wasn't any, Luther got taken out and all other stuff. I'm loving the heel work with Mercedes. It's so freaking good.
Yeah, this is her element. She's so good as a heel, and now she's got her Diesel in Camille, so it's gonna make things really interesting. I'm hoping this, with the Camille being her Diesel, so to speak, that this is going to lead to the return of Jamie Hayter to back Britt up. I hope so.
We want Jamie, get better, girl.
Yep.
You were like on the top of the world, and unfortunately, just
she was really, like, people.
Really
it's been a while, but people forget she was really over.
Yeah.
When she was AEW Women's Champion, it's like the fans. It's like it was like Rhea Ripley, where like, yeah, she was a heel, but the fans, it's like, still loved her and were cheering her, even though she was like very heelish. Eventually, she kind of went babyface. So, it'll be really nice to see her back in action finally, because it's been more than a year now at this point.
Tony,
she's been out since like last spring.
Right, it's been a while. For as long as she's been out. Tony, let Kyle Fletcher talk more. That was a fun promo.
That was a hell of a babyface promo he cut there.
I was like, oh damn, I knew you were good in the ring, but I didn't know you were this guy.
I love the passion.
Oh, dude, and then just shout out to getting Sky Blue over by being injured. but they're dating, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, now, again, why are you going to pin your champion? Now, granted, it's a CMLL title, but why in the hell are you going to have Statlander and not just be for the title?
Just give her a title shot.
I hate this in wrestling. This is like one of my biggest pet peeves in wrestling.
Yeah, I hate when
either have the match for a title or friggin' don't.
Right. Because now it's like, oh, she beat her. It's like she's going to do it again, and because she cheated. It's like, it's just totally not necessary. Especially not for these two women who are so talented.
You know how you can build a match, to a match, and still have your champion being pinned?
Yeah.
Noam Dar, how they're doing that, we'll get into it in NXT, but that's how you do it. As far as having your challenger pin the champion, quote unquote, by still building to a match that hasn't even happened yet. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
With the Noam Dar and Ethan Page. Like, that is genius on what they're doing. We'll get into that in NXT. I really like the way they're doing that. But I hate these things. WWE did it so much in the last like 4 or 5 years of Vince McMahon's booking, where they would do 50-50 booking out and shenanigans galore.
Oh god.
And then they would have, you can't get a title shot until you beat me. Then you beat me. Then you get a title shot. And then you lose. And then we have another 50-50. Like the 50-50 booking on top of the title match bullshit. It's terrible. Don't do this. It just doesn't do anything. If you have them getting pinned in like a tag match or something, or pinned by someone else and then do a triple threat like they did Trick Williams, even though we didn't like it, I at least would be okay with it. But this type of, you pinned, now you get a title shot. You pinned. You should get the belt. There shouldn't be in between.
Mm-hmm.
Never liked that booking.
Nope, I'm with you, buddy.
I didn't realize the conglomeration was a thing, but this is a fun group.
Yeah, it's a fun name. Gives the baby faces something to do.
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe makes it work for me.
Mm-hmm. He cuts the same promo every single time, and I'm just like, yep, still like it, don't care. Mark Briscoe cuts the same promo every time.
I just love his energy.
Oh yeah, you get Mark Briscoe at 1,000,000 miles an hour saying the same thing, and you're gonna buy it all the time. That's a straight old.
I loved how he told Kyle to hold my baby, and Kyle tosses the ROH title belt like it's a baby.
Yeah, and then
while he's cutting a promo,
and then
he's doing that in the background.
And I liked Orange Cassidy in the background. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here, man. I'm not like,
He's just watching the chaos.
yeah, I'm just like, I'm good. And then is it Ishiro? Is that his last name?
Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, Ishii. And he's just, it's like,
Mhm.
you got me for a little bit, guys. Let's do something. It's like, yeah, we're gonna use you. But people were really impressed with Mortos.
Yeah, no,
really
he's
impressed.
pretty cool. He's pretty neat.
And he's CMLL, right?
I think he was CMLL, but he's signed to AEW now.
Okay. But yeah, he is interesting on that. Okay. Did you like Darby going over on Adam?
I was surprised. I was wondering. I'm like, both these guys are getting a bit of a push here, like so. But I think we'll see. I think it's definitely adding to Hangman's frustrations right now. We'll see if it leads anything. If it doesn't lead anywhere, then I'll be pissed.
Have you seen the cut that someone edited of how many moves that Logan Paul basically does from Adam Page? Have you seen that cut that they've done?
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously the buckshot lariat, we all knew that, but there's a couple other like things that Logan's done. It's like this is literally like he's literally taking Hangman's moveset. I'm like, well, yeah, they're about the same size, kind of the same wrestler. Logan's more athletic, but I just found that interesting. But I'm really liking this Hangman character right now. All I care about is that Swerve took everything from me, and he still has yet to has he yet to say Swerve's name out loud since he's come back.
He hasn't really. Yeah, it's like he hates him so much. He's like he doesn't even. It's like you know who he's talking about, but he hasn't really said his name much. It's kind of
no. And plus, like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Like, these are the type of things that it makes me want to tune in each week. Is like,
oh, absolutely.
You know, and we still don't have Kenny yet. And that's going to be another wrinkle in the AEW thing. But are we going to get back to the fact that the Elite like lost?
Yeah, it hasn't seemed to do much to dent any of their momentum. So, yeah.
I also like how the heel is the guy that's promoting America, and then you got a bunch of people defend the baby faces are the foreign guys.
Right.
I'm like, wow, way to do a 180 on what wrestling's supposed to be.
On a boring old trope.
Right. I just like the trope of, you know, well, you're from Russia, so you're going to be an asshole. You're from America, we're great.
You're the hero.
Now the American is an asshole, and the Australian and are they both?
Yeah, the non-Americans are the heroes.
Are they Australian or New Zealand?
Fletcher's he's Australian.
Right, and I know Ospreay's from
Britain. He's English.
Yeah. So, but and some people are saying that that MJF is cutting the same promo over and over again. I'm not.
No, he's not.
I don't know where people are coming off from. I'm like, you're just trying to find something to say. I'm like, dude, if you tune in to watch MJF every time, I will guarantee you.
Yeah.
If MJF is on the television, you're watching it. I know this is patting his ego, but he earned it.
Right. It's like I don't know where that's coming from. It's like I'm hearing people. I've seen more than one people say, think that Cody's title run is boring, and it's like maybe he's not had the best opponents, but it's like he's not boring. I mean, he's still over, and his merch sells like crazy. So people, the normal fans are not finding him boring at all, so he wouldn't be moving merch.
It's the part of the IWC that I'm just like, it's just there's so much of what have you done for me lately instead of just appreciating what you have.
Yeah,
guys, you want to go back to 2019? You want to go back to that scene in wrestling? I don't.
Nope.
So, don't. If you want to know what 2019 was,
nope. No, thank you.
Watch that episode of Raw for WWE when they introduced WWE Underground. Watch that booking. Tell me if you really want to go back to that. So, it just
learn tree stuff. I just take it or leave it at this point.
Yeah, at least the cake wasn't smashed in someone's face.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Marvez got to keep the cake.
Yeah, I will say that. But no, I mean overall, another pretty solid show.
Yep.
It more was the build. Again, they're building very well to Wembley, which they always have really good pay-per-views anyway. But that stip with Bryan Danielson and Swerve, and I like how Swerve was kind of like, I didn't want you to do that when he said that. Like you can tell, like when Swerve stopped, was like, I didn't want you to do that because not only do I think I can beat you, but now I'm getting like life on the line, career on the line, Bryan Danielson. Like I just liked his Swerve's little bit of reaction to that, where he just like as soon as he said, they had their backs turned to each other, and the shot of just and the way they produced it of Danielson sitting there and like, and then if I don't lose this match, my career is done. And then he just sat there and people had the reaction, but then Swerve's reaction was just that slow like. For real?
No, that was really good stuff. It really a lot of good from the heart stuff from Danielson. I like that Swerve is leaning into like a tweener mode here because the fans still like him, but he's definitely pulling a little more of the heel. The heel side, so he's like in tweener mode, which works for this match, and the added drama of now that he's putting his career on the line, saying that if he loses the match, if he doesn't beat Swerve for the title, he'll retire. Yeah. So,
last little thing, healthy debate: who's had the better title run, Swerve or Cody? Yeah, it's a fun question, isn't it? I think it's even. I don't think because they both put on banger matches, and you can only do what you can with the opponents that you have.
Yeah.
And they've done everything that's asked for them, and they still.
Well, I'd give the slight edge to Cody because he has been more presented as like at the top of the card as being the numero uno thing, especially with the bloodline stuff lately, where there was times where Swerve was kind of like. Not as much of a focus as should be, even though he's the champion. So, but that was before. It's been better now for him. So,
the Christian thing was fine. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
The Ospreay one was the big stepping stone.
Yeah, once they got the Ospreay match, it's really taken off.
Yeah,
because they went Ospreay, then the Hangman stuff with the blood and guts and the Elite, and then you have Danielson. So it's like. Okay, but that's why I'm presenting it because I'm like, they won it, and then it's like, now what happens? It's the same thing as like once you get to the mountaintop, how are you going to get food there type of thing. Once you're living on the mountaintop, it's tough to get food there and all other analogies I can use. But I'm enjoying both of them. Obviously, we're both big fans of Swerve and Cody, and anything that's asked from them, they've delivered. And Swerve, and obviously Cody's been doing this a little bit longer than I don't know what the difference where their careers are, but Swerve's mic work is not as I don't think Swerve's mic work is nearly as good as Cody's. Some people say that Cody cuts the same damn promo, which I disagree with.
I disagree with that as well.
But their in-ring work they're both
they're both phenomenal.
Both phenomenal. Which is a good thing it's a good debate to have because we're talking about two different companies.
Right.
That's the fun part. Again, guys, we're in a really good time for this product. So we're trying to nitpick. Anything else that you want to, before we move on to?
I think that covers most of the important angles going on Dynamite right now as we're heading toward, don't know what's going on with this stuff between Acclaimed and FDR. We'll see where it leads. And it's a little weird. And a shout out to, even though I don't think we don't care much about what goes on with ROH. It was nice to see Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs win the ROH 6-man tag titles on Collision this past weekend. That was
forgot to make a note of that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that was really cool of them doing that. And then. Why? Okay, here's the petty part of the wrestling industry. That the pre-show for SummerSlam is going to be 3 hours. Now, someone asked, why was that happening? I
Right.
give you an AEW collision that comes on Saturdays reason why that's happening. And you can't tell me differently. Is it a smart business? Yeah. Might as well go up against your competition to say your pre-show is going to draw more on a
Right.
PLE than the collision is, which possibly could.
Yeah, collision. It's like not. It's like collision. Collision has like no chance to have very many people watching SummerSlam.
You have Olympic, SummerSlam, and
Yeah,
collision.
it's like bad enough that SummerSlam's up, but also Olympics are going on as well. And WWE is taking a bit of a hit in the ratings. Because the Olympics are on, and plus both Raw and NXT have to move to Sci-Fi for the next 2 weeks while the Olympics are going on. So the ratings are going to go down a bit.
Oh, I mean, that NXT rating for this past Great American Bash was like 600,000, something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
It was pretty low.
Raw wasn't too bad. Raw took a dip, but it wasn't like it was still decent.
Yeah. It's just, it is what it is
Yep.
on that. But last thing you're going to do is blame my girl Roxanne, because it's not her fault that something happens every 4 years and we all want to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out Simone Biles. She's the greatest gymnast.
Yeah.
Female gymnast of all time. All right, let's move on to the other greatest of all time, which is Roxanne Perez.
Yes.
And, yeah. Also, other things happen on the show.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what happened on this week's episode of NXT. Night 1 of the Great American Bash. We opened with a WWE Women's Tag Team title match as Metaphor challenged Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. The champs picked up the victory. Post-match, Ethan Page came out to mock Ormens and promised that he's not going to be defeating him next week in their title match. But that led to shenanigans where Ormens visibly pinned Ethan Page again, much to his anger. They showed footage of Cedric Xander talking to some of the young wrestlers, but Sean Spears interrupted and he dissed Brooks Jensen for listening to Spears. And that pissed Jensen off, challenged Cedric to a match. Pete Dunne cut a great promo explaining his recent heel turn, talking about how being the Brawling Brutes and Butch pissed him off, and that he's now going to cause havoc, and he'll be facing Trick Williams on Night 2 of Great American Bash next week. Then we had Heritage Cup match, Tavion Heights challenging Tony D'Angelo. Tony got the first fall, but then Rensica came in and hyped Tavion up more than the rest of the No Quarter Catch crew did, and that allowed Tavion to get a pin and even up 1-on-1. But eventually, Tony D'Angelo came back and won the second fall necessary to pick up the victory and retain the cup. Then we had Brooks Jensen taking on Cedric Alexander. Cedric was able to hit the lumbar check and pick up the victory. Got a video about Javon Evans. He cut a promo talking about his history and getting to know him a little better. Then the Rascals were in their treehouse, confused that they're doing this on Tuesday and not on Thursday on Impact. And talked about that they want a challenge for the NXT Tag Team titles. And Wes said that he'll ask Axiom and Nathan Frazier for it. Then we had the Joe Hendry concert, sang a song for the fans, talking about how Booker T is his biggest fan and mocking Gallus. Before he could do an encore, Gallus showed up and attacked Joe Hendry. They held him and allowed Joe Coffey to blast him in the back with his guitar and leave him laying. Ava oversaw a contract signing between Ethan Page and Ormensa ahead of their NXT title match next week. Then we had Kendall Gray taking on Jada Parker. Jada Parker picked up the victory. Chase Yu was shown getting Thea Hell hyped for the main event where she's taking on Roxanne for the title. Nathan Frazier isn't happy about not being consulted before he agreed to the tag title match on Night 2 of the Great American Bash next week against the Rascals. Then we had a 6-woman tag. JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley taking on Sol Ruka, Carmen Petrovic, and Lola Vice. This was really good stuff from all 6 ladies. Fallon Henley nailed Petrovic with her finisher to pick up the victory. Claudia Jordan and Tana Pax got the words, and which led to a title match between them, added to Night 2 Great American Bash next week. Joe Hendry out in the parking lot said he's sick of Gallous's jealousy and shenanigans and challenged Joe Coffey to a match next week on night 2. Then we got to the main event, NXT Women's Title match. Roxanne Perez defending against Thea Hale and Chase U. This match was awesome. Great finish where they were exchanging submission finishers, going back and forth. When it looked like Thea was not going to tap out to the crossface, Roxanne switched to hitting her with pop rocks, and that was enough to put Thea down. And Roxanne is still NXT Women's Champion. So that's all that happened on this week on night 1 of the Great American Bash.
Woo!
Woo!
All right. Now, I'm going to save my 2 people. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the 2 women's matches to close out the show because this was, I'll be honest, this was a pretty okay show until the women's 6-man and Thea Roxanne pushed it into great territory. Nothing that like saying all the other matches were bad, but didn't feel like a very like memorable show. I mean, it's like, so it's like I'm glad that the women delivered at the top of the card. I mean, there's some good angle advancement here, like this stuff with Ethan Page and Mensa, Trick and Pete Dunne. But I want to talk about this women's 6-man in the main event. So since obviously you want to probably talk about Thea Roxanne.
Possibly. It's on.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in my mind.
Let me go over the everything except those 2 matches.
Okay.
So all right. So I already said that. Nice to see Jay Parker get a win. It's like she deserves a good push. I like that Javon got a little bit of vignette explaining like his history and stuff, getting to know him better. That's always a good thing. The Joe Hendry concert was fun. I love Booker T making fun of, poking fun at him, saying that Booker T's the head of his fan club.
Right. I like how just him tuning his guitar got a pop. Like that's how over he is. Yeah.
Right.
You know how many times we do Who Wants to Walk with Elias and people just didn't give a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, how long is this gonna go before Gal shows up? And it's like, I think they got to do some stuff that I like that he's like, you guys want an encore? And then Gal's interrupted the encore saying, there's not gonna be an encore to get more heat from the fans,
Yep.
So yeah, so Joe Hendry versus Joe Coffey next week. That should be fun.
I really liked the storytelling of the Brooks Jensen, Sean Spears.
Yeah, I like
the
that.
match was fine, and I understand at least the match. But I like the fact that Sean Spears is doing the, I'm right, type of mentorship, and because Brooks Jensen is such a loose cannon, so he's like, oh, that's what you said, and I like the way he was like in the background when Sean Spears was talking to Cedric Alexander. And then Cedric was like, oh, yeah, you're just wanting those, like, people that suck. And Brooks Jensen, like, came up and confronted him. See, Tony, that's all you have to do. Just 2 seconds to at least give a reason why that match exists. But I did like how after the match, like, Sean Spears didn't come out with Brooks. Sean Spears didn't interfere with the situation. Brooks Jensen just lost clean to Cedric Alexander because Cedric Alexander is the veteran of between the 2 of them. And after the match, Sean Spears is just sitting there on the ropes, being like, "Told you so. You gonna listen to me now?"
Mm-hmm.
That's that stuff that was the match was fine, and I'm glad that Cedric got the win. But it makes sense on the development of Brooks Jensen and Sean Spears being much more of a mentor, which we figured he was going to be when he came back to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on that angle?
No, I think that covers that.
Tell me again why we care about the Heritage Cup. I just don't like the structure of it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's just like I said, it's leftover relic for the UK days, and I think with World Regal around, they don't think they want to get rid of it. It's like it felt like being like an insult to Regal and English wrestling. So I guess we're just gonna have to get used to it. At least it gives D'Angelo something to do.
Yeah. Is Ren part of No Quarter? Or?
Not yet. She's trying to get in. It's like she's trying to join the group, but they haven't let her in yet. That's what this whole angle is about. Is her trying to get in.
Okay. I did like. I don't care about the D'Angelo family or North Quarter. Or it's just gonna be hard for me to care because I just came in so late from where they've been established, and I feel like they just do the same thing over and over again, just like rinse and repeat. But I did like the fact that they did play on the Olympics. And then Tony was just like, he's an Olympian. I guarantee you got to give respect to that. That being said, he competes every 4 years. I do it every day, and I'm like, okay, that was a pretty solid promo there. Granted, I don't even know if it was taped or whatnot, if it was live, but with them being on Sci-Fi. But yeah, that's the only thing is I just make it I just can't wrap my head around caring about the time limit, because even I remember TNA did that with some type of championship where it was like a time limit and there was scoring involved, like a boxing match. I'm just like, that's not wrestling, man. That's just not.
Yeah, I just remember it was interesting that Cedric beat Brooke Sessions, so it's obviously this is going to keep going. At least Metaphor got to do something. I knew they weren't going to beat Alba Fire and Isladon for the titles, but at least that was something.
How if they're gonna just big picture, if Metaphor goes to the main roster, let's just say it's all 4 of them, how their entrance is cool as hell.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because the presentation on NXT, perfect.
I have to say one thing also about Metaphor. Lash Legend has really come a long way. She used to suck in the ring. Did not care for it at all. In the last year, probably since Deadline at the end of last year, she's gotten so much better. So she could really go somewhere.
Gotcha. Is she actually dating Trick in real life?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Because I know Kalani and Mello apparently are dating.
Yes, Kalani Jordan and Carmelo Hayes are dating.
Yeah. Is there anything else I want to touch on before we get to? I mean, Jada Parker was kind of a squash match, like you said. Dude, glad she won. And then I liked how the Tatum Paxley Wendy. When are we gonna finally just take the next step in that?
Actually, they are. Okay, so that's why they did that whole angle. They are dating in real life, him and Lash Legend.
Okay. And then going back to the Tatum Paxley Wendy thing, I know they had that thing with Kalani, and obviously that's a match for next week.
Yes.
Do you think this is actually going to go anywhere with the Tatum Paxley Wendy thing?
We'll see. I'm not into it right now, but we'll see.
Okay.
So let's talk about the 6-woman tag and then the main event, because that 6-woman tag, it started out. It's like it built. It's like it kept escalating, and then it's just I was like, oh wow, they are going all out here. This is great. It's like the fans really got into it. They all got to look great. This was great stuff. Really enjoyed this. And also, it's a good move to have the heels win, because this new women's faction with Fallon, Jasmine Nix, and Jacy Jayne needed a win to establish themselves. So I thought that was a good move. What did you think of the match?
I'm just, how for some reason every time I'm really liking what they're doing with Jasmine Nix on building her up. Obviously, she's probably the lesser of the 6 women that were in the match. Because Fallon, and Sol Roca is just naturally gifted.
That twisting moonsault off the top to the outside was just like a thing of beauty.
I said that a few weeks ago, where I was like, I'm nervous about Roxanne because Sol Roca is just so good. Yep. Kalani Jordan and Sol Roca never wrestled a match in their life, and they got signed because of how athletic they were at it. And they're the reason that Triple H is still doing the NIL deals and stuff like that. It's like, oh, we can find some talent. They don't have to be indie people. We can just mold them into are people.
If we can, it's like we can spot people who have the potential to be good wrestlers,
Yeah.
and it's working.
Because I forgot exactly what sport Sol Rucka played at Oregon.
Yeah.
But she's just so naturally gifted in the
Well,
ring.
look at Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany didn't come from wrestling background. She came from gymnastics, and look how awesome she is.
I was thinking Sol wasn't volleyball. I forget what she did.
I think it was volleyball.
It might have been volleyball. But then I mean, Jane and Henley have just they're solid. They're just solid wrestlers. I was surprised that I was like, they're really going to throw Lola Vice in there with them, but might as well.
No, because like all three women are definitely they're being pushed well. Those three as baby faces at the moment, and I'm glad it's like that. It's like Lola Vice isn't getting lost in the shuffle after she lost to Roxanne, so that's what I was worried about. So,
do you think Petrovich actually has a future?
She's the one that I'm not sure about yet. She's decent. But she
gets lost in the shuffle the most.
Lola and Sol are at the level where I think I'm not worried about them. I think they can do well on the main roster in the future. I'm not sure about Carmen Petrovic yet. She's like the question mark.
The reason I was bringing up Jasmine is because she reminds me a lot of the Mandy Rose when she first started out.
Yeah,
like that type of character.
I think hopefully she'll get a chance to sign. I mean, she's definitely got talent. I can see it.
Yeah.
So
Henley and Jane, I'm fine with. Yeah. Like they're
both good.
They're both good. It's just Petrovich is of these 6 women because they freaking balled out this minute.
Yeah.
But of these 6 women, it's like great.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Petrovich going to go from here?
Right.
Because it's always like every time.
Well, they definitely see something of her because they had her paired with Natty and the whole because she feuded with Lola Vice there and led to and stuff and so they definitely see something in her. So it's like, but she's not there yet. Yeah. They still got some work to do with her.
Yeah. How long has Jasmine been with NXT?
I don't know.
I feel like it's been just a couple of years. While you're looking that up, I do want to go back to, hey, we got the treehouse with the Rascals. With that.
I forgot about that. Sorry, I figured you'd like that.
Oh, dude, I'm just eating up the Rascals stuff from TNA to here.
She signed in November of 2022, so it's been almost 2 years.
Okay. That's what I was figuring. I figured she'd probably been there for a couple of years because typically when you sign to NXT, you're gonna be in the Performance Center before they even present you on television for like 6 months to a year, sometimes, because they're just trying to figure out what you're gonna do. Unless you're just
you played soccer in college.
Okay, Jasmine did.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, no. Going back to the Rascals, and I kind of like the
there and then go to the main event.
Right. And I just liked how they kind of like the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like this is supposed to be that 70s show. We're supposed to be high as shit right now, and they were just like, and Wes is like, no, we can't do that here. This is a PG show. We can't do that. Yeah.
What is this? This is Tuesday. What's going on?
Right, Tuesday. Why are we here? Like I don't even know this. And then who's the third? And Zach, Wes, and who's the Mason?
I forget who the third guy is.
Miguel. It's Miguel. Yeah, and I just like how Zach was just like, and we didn't lose the tag. I mean, we arguably are the best tag team that NXT ever had. And Miguel's like, I just said that, like literally when we came back. And
it's fun. It's I like it.
It's just that natural chemistry that you can't brew. Like you can't. I don't care how many times you spent in the writer's room. That's just natural chemistry that just happens, and you can just let them go.
Yep.
Type of thing. So yes, I am a huge.
It would be very interesting if Wes and Zach win the tag titles. Are we going to see them defended on TNA?
That's what we kind of talked about at the beginning of the show. Is just like if that's the reason they did give Joe Hendry the title because he's going to do so much and him losing, but them being because they're trios, you can still have them being the tag champs, do a trios match on TNA, have Miguel take the pinfall and not take away from them being champions because
Exactly.
they bring that from. So I that could work.
That could work.
That could work.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Let's talk about this main event.
This. All right. Let me start with this.
Yeah,
The psychology in this match was the most chef's kiss thing I've ever seen. The freaking and it's all like typical boring shit that we typically talk about. Hey, remember that Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler like UFC thing that was boring as crap? They literally just did that. They were just doing submission to submission to submission to submission, some outside stuff. Thea Hale do just this was the most. If you want to show someone how to, whoever the producer was for this match, hats off to you.
Absolutely.
Because the psychology in this match, the storytelling, from top to
the
bottom.
Last few minutes where it was just like there, it's like crossface, counter, Kimura, counter back to crossface, back to Kimura. It's just wild. And they're both going after the arm. You know, it's like,
they're selling the arms, and it still was the Pop Rocks that won. But yeah, and the more and more, like I talked about it like maybe a month ago, and I was like, all right, Thea.
You see why now Gift Taylor and I are such fans of Thea Hale. I mean, it's like the evidence is right here in this match. Why it's like she's only 20 years old, dude.
Dude, her facial expressions and like her promos of just being, I'm gonna make her ass tap out.
She started in NXT when she was 18.
Yeah, just Thea.
She was like fresh out of high school.
Yeah. It's just,
and she's gotten this good in 2 years.
Yeah, Thea is the new Alexa Bliss in that situation. If you can kind of follow me on that, of just that size.
I feel she is really criminally underrated by people.
Yeah,
because the Chase U gimmick is very cheesy.
Yeah, I haven't bought into it till like for the past couple weeks, and I'm like, all right, because Thea Hale and then the other guy had a really good match. Had a really good their tag match. From their tag match for the tag team title match.
Oh yeah, against
the other guy having with Oba, that NXT and then Thea. So I'm like, all right, this is okay. I'm sort of getting what they're going, even though it's cheesy as shit and I don't like the gimmick. But at least the wrestlers within Chase U, I am now getting as far as that. Because Thea, I was always, you're like Thea Hale, and I'm like, and you're like, oh yeah, she's a Chase U. I'm like, Chase U sucks. Like, I don't get Chase U.
Yeah, it's like for people who doubt, it's like any doubt. I'm like, go watch this banger match she had with Roxanne. It's like everyone knows how good Roxanne is. It's like just watch this match and you see why people like me and Giff love Thea Hale. It's like
this match was so freaking good.
It's like it's like even though I knew she wasn't gonna win, I was so like, oh come on. It's like,
yeah. Well,
it's like it was. I liked the finish because it's like she was trying to make Thea tapped out and she just couldn't do it, and finally she was like, fuck it. It's like, I'm gonna pop rocks your ass.
Right. When she kicked off the rope and stuff for the finish, I was like, oh, it's only gonna take. Finally, we only she hits her finisher once and she actually gets the pinfall. Okay, cool. Finally. That's the one thing at this point with wrestling. I don't mind kicking out of a finisher once, but good God, finisher pin done. Yeah. Can we get back to that sometimes?
Yeah. I feel like it became a thing. Like that was more about trying to put over Lola Vice that it took like that many pop rocks to put her away. It was more about trying to make Lola Vice look like a tough mother effer. This match was absolutely fantastic. It's like a highlight of the show, as it should be, as the main event. And nobody came out at the end. Roxanne got to stand tall. Chase U was very sad.
Mm-hmm.
No Stephanie Becker yet.
It's all right. I'm gonna streamline that comment with this video.
I had a feeling you might.
Like, I'll give Thea her respect because I guess she almost had me there, but realistically, everybody needs to stop worrying about everybody else around the world. Not a Thea, not a Julia, not a Stephanie. NXT is the best women's division in the world. And this is on my shoulder, which means I am the best woman in the world. That's it. Good night.
It's like mic drop.
Where's the lie? Where's to quote Bobby Fish? Where's the lie?
Or to quote CM Punk, stop me when I'm telling lies.
Right. I've been saying this forever. I'm putting my bias hat on. I've been saying this forever. You know how great this woman is? Okay?
Yeah.
She is so good as an NXT championship. Once she became NXT champion, what do? Oh, let's create another belt because they can't get this one. Then what happens? You have to go out and sign Julia and Stephanie and I forget the other girl's name.
I love that it's like this is a
and
great.
She's not shying from it.
No, she's not shying from it, and that's what's great about it because it builds more hype for when Julia and Stephanie actually show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people are already excited about them coming to NXT, but the fact that they keep getting mentioned, and especially Roxanne saying, "Stop talking about them. I'm the champ. You should be talking about me. I'm numero uno here." It's like it builds to the when they finally show up. It's like, oh, it's on now.
Mm-hmm. It was the Australian wrestler they just signed. What was her name?
Delta.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, Stephanie and Delta, Rhea, and like that. I still gotta get used to your game, Delta. So just chill with us for a second.
Yeah, it's like
we've known about Stephanie. Well, we definitely known about Julia for a while.
I've been scouting. It's like I've been scouting a lot of Julia and Stephanie Becker stuff on YouTube. So it's like, because it's like their rival is like so eminent right now. It's like funny. It's like because Julia announced that August 19th is her last match for Marigold Japan before she's coming over here. So once we get past once it's after August 19th, it's like when she's going to be showing up in NXT it's who knows. I'm guessing one or both of them are going to show up at No Mercy. That's gotcha. Unless they pull something where they want to build hype and like they bring Stephanie bring Stephanie out first and then maybe save Julia for the PLE. Because let's see, when is No Mercy? What's the date on NXT No Mercy?
I don't know that.
September 1st.
Okay,
that's coming up. That's coming up in a few weeks. That's closer than I thought.
We're gonna get Julia at least at No Mercy. Has to.
Oh yeah, I think it's like both. By the time we get to No Mercy, Julia and Stephanie are going to be on TV. It's only a matter of time. They've been name dropped so much lately. I'm like wait. I'm like, okay, are they showing up tonight? It's like
right.
When's it going to happen?
Right.
Because I can't wait. Because as soon as I'm going to be like, let's to quote Deadpool and Wolverine, let's effing go.
Yep, exactly. Great movie, guys. Go watch it.
Great, go see it.
Yep. What up, Tushka? All right, let's wrap it up with our predictions
for SummerSlam.
All right, just shoot me the card by card, and so match by match we can go. Don't run through the whole matches. Just give me one match, and we'll just do it.
Okay, we're gonna start with the only non-title match on the card as of tonight. I don't know if they're going to make any last-minute changes, but we got 7 matches that are official for SummerSlam. The only one where a title is not on the line is the highly anticipated. Finally, they're getting one-on-one CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre one-on-one grudge match with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee.
I expect CM Punk to take the win, but it's not going to stop anything. It's also the only match that has like a stipulation. You notice that? Everything else is just a straight up match.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And we have no tag matches.
No. Now, granted, it's a 3-hour kickoff show, guys. Probably going to be some shit going on there.
Maybe.
Now, but as far as just the main card, I have CM Punk going over on Drew McIntyre because it's CM Punk. But I think it's going to whatever's happening at the finish of it. Not saying shenanigans or anything, but it's not. It's going to carry over to keep going until we get the Hell in the Cell at Bad Blood. Like this is the first of many.
Okay. I know a lot of people are thinking Punk's going to win the first one. I'm leaning more toward my boy Drew McIntyre winning the first round here in this feud. I think it makes more sense because of everything that's happened. That plus with the Seth Rollins factor, it's very possible you could have a finish just like it's been invoked. The Bret Hart versus Undertaker title match with Shawn as the special guest referee at SummerSlam 97, where Bret pushed Shawn too far and he was pissed and he went to hit him with a chair, and Bret ducked and he knocked Undertaker out cold and had no choice but to count the pin to give Bret the title, because there was a stipulation where if Shawn did not call it down the middle, he would never wrestle in the United States again. So it's like he had to do it, even though he fucked up. We don't have anything like that here, but I could easily see where shenanigans happen, and because Seth said, if you guys try to lay your hands on me, I'm going to retaliate. It's like that's why Adam Pearce asked me to do this, because it's like I could fight back. It's like I'm not going to take any shit from either one of you. Right. So it could easily where something happens where it's like he retaliates. It's like he meant to go after one person and it accidentally hurts the other person and costs them the match. It's like like something similar to that. I think it makes more sense to Drew to win this, just because Punk has done so much to him already. It's Drew kind of needs to get a little bit of payback to start off here with the first match in the feud, despite it having been gone on for months now. So I'm leaning toward McIntyre winning the first round here.
Yeah, this is a 50-50.
Yeah, it could go either way, honestly, really.
The only thing that I don't...
Especially with Seth as referee, it's like this could go a lot of different ways.
Right. The only thing that I really don't want, and even if they do it, it's fine. But the only thing I don't want, I really don't want Seth going forward with doing a triple.
I don't want him. It's like he should not turn heel. It's like if he costs someone the match, it needs to be by accident.
Right. I want the McIntyre Punk. That's it. That's all I want going forward. I don't need Punk, McIntyre, and Seth. It diminishes what has been built for 7 months.
Exactly.
So just don't do that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we're split on that one. It's like, all right. So next, Intercontinental Championship match: Sami Zayn defending against Braun Breaker. I think this is an easy pick. It's Braun.
It's Braun. Because Sammy's going to be
lost at Money in the Bank. He's not going to lose this rematch.
No, bigger stage. It's Braun. Unless, and there's not going to be any shenanigans with it. If you've not noticed now, there's not a whole lot of shenanigans that are really involved in multiple matches. They're just like maybe one or two at most in the Triple H booking era. Especially for SummerSlam, you're not going to have. People are not going to pay good damn money to see shenanigans. With
like
that.
I expect shenanigans for Punk McIntyre. I expect shenanigans for Liv Rhea, and probably the main event, but that's about it.
Yeah, not all of them. Which they used
not
to, again, all that. With this,
there's potential for shenanigans to happen in other matches, especially with the Tiffany having Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll
but anyway, with this match, it's Braun. It's Braun. That way, Sammy can move on. Sammy should be in the world title picture to begin with, but much less. It frees him up to do.
He's going to be perfectly positioned to challenge Gunther when Gunther has the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, so
because their history, it'll be fantastic, and I'm going to be rooting for Sammy to win that world title.
Mm-hmm.
But Sammy's had a good run with the Intercontinental title, but it's definitely clear it's like they've strapped the rocket to Braun, and this is where they're really going to light the fuse by giving him the IC title, let him run with it for a while, and let him just wreck shop. So It's like there's no way Braun's losing this match. They're not gonna have him lose to Sammy two pay-per-views in a row.
This is Braun's.
All right, so then we got the other mid-card title on the line. Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against LA Knight.
You know, I was indifferent until stuff happened today, and I'm not going to get into, but I'm pretty sure it's LA Knight now.
Oh, what exactly are you referring to?
Just Logan said some things online that other people didn't like, so I'm not going to get into it because that's not what the show's about. Long story short,
he's got some legal issues because of the Olympic Committee is suing him for using trademark Olympic stuff. Yep. In ads for his Prime Energy drink. So
that's why they add Wingstop is also going to be on the mat for SummerSlam. But no, this has LA Knight needs to win this damn match all over it.
It really, like Braun, this is he needs to win the belt here.
Yeah, and then also Logan is positioned to challenge. He's a world title guy at this point. Like with
they definitely teased that with him at Cody at King Queen of the Ring.
He did. He'd had and he's had solid matches with him.
Yeah,
all the crap that
he's match against Roman 2 years ago.
Yeah, so that's kind of where they're pushing him for now.
It would be a big mistake at this point to have LA Knight come up short again.
There's no reason to not have
the fans are dying for him to have his moment.
The championship.
He deserves to have a title on his waist, and the fans want it.
He's earned this bitch. Long story short. And Logan's had it for like over 230 days or something. Like
he's had it for almost a year at this point. That's a really good run.
He's had it for more than a year.
Because if he beat, it's like there's not many other babe faces that are ready to challenge him if LA Knight is taken out of the picture. It's like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
There's plenty of heels. There's plenty of heels in the mid card on SmackDown that can come after LA Knight while he's got the title. So
yeah, there's plenty of matches.
Please, Triple H, pull the trigger. Let LA Knight finally have a belt around his waist. Make the fans happy, please. Yeah. Okay. Then we have women's title matches. We'll start with Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
Liv Morgan.
Yeah, Liv's winning this.
She is this is the match that they were trying to get her to win to begin with.
Yeah. Before
Rhea got injured.
This feud is not going to end at SummerSlam.
This is a Bad Blood in October.
They're going right to Bad Blood because like Punk and McIntyre, Bad Blood is so appropriate for this feud. With everything that's happened, this feud has been building since last year.
And Rhea and Liv are the greatest. This is the feud that Rhea, as far as that opponent, like again,
yes,
going back to LA Knight, Logan Paul, those type of like when Edge, John Cena, or Randy Orton.
This will help give Liv the title run she deserves because the one that she had when she beat Rousey was like. Just like a fart in the wind. That title run.
No, Liv needs to win this match.
She does, and the question is Dominic going to accidentally help her, or is he going to do the full turn on Rhea?
It's an accidental air quotes, like you said. I'm with you.
I think it's going to be accidental, and that will lead into Raw, and then the big turn will happen on Raw. I think. So yeah, we're both in sync on this one. Liv retains to keep the feud going. Mm-hmm. Then the other is the WWE Women's Title match as Bayley defends against Nia Jax.
I'm so indifferent. I don't know where to go with this.
This could go either way, honestly.
Just because it's all leading to Tiffy getting the championship.
And that's the thing: is Tiffany going to cash in now, or is she going to wait till later?
Well, Io cashed in at SummerSlam last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's on the table. Especially with Nia on SmackDown be like, I know you're not going to cash it on me at SummerSlam. Right. It's like, Nia,
so,
come on.
I'm thinking they're probably going to pull the trigger on Nia. I really do.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
I want Bayley to win because I'm just such a big Bayley fan.
Yeah,
but where are you gonna? If she wins, where are you gonna go with it?
Right.
Nia, at least you have that
there's a lot of
you
baby
still have
faces
that
they
back
can
and
throw
forth
at Nia.
of Nia has the but she's still with Tiffy.
Yeah.
So you can keep that going.
You can keep that going for a little while.
Yeah.
And plus also, they got a ready-made feud for her and Charlotte when she gets back because she calls herself the Queen.
Right.
Still, because she won Queen of the Ring. So it's like that's gonna because Charlotte's gonna be back on SmackDown because that's where her hubby Andrade is. So she's gonna go back. When she comes back, she's gonna be on SmackDown. And you got a ready-made feud about Queen. No, excuse me, I'm the Queen around here. It's like
so,
and also that can also lead to Charlotte Tiffany down the line,
right?
If she starts going after Nia because Tiffany will still be supporting her and just waiting for the right moment for the cash in.
Right.
And so it's like, so you can do Charlotte Nia and then easily transition to Tiffany Charlotte when Tiffany cashes in the briefcase and wins the title.
Yeah. So yeah, it just makes more storyline sense for Nia.
Yeah, I wouldn't want. I'd like to see Tiffy hold on the case a little bit longer. I don't think they should do the cash in just yet.
So, but yeah, I'm leaning towards as far as just between the match itself and not Tiffy excluded. I'm thinking they're probably going to do Nia just because of where that character's going compared to Bayley just being a title holder, which it sucks.
Because I think it would hurt because like Nia had a big title match against Rhea earlier this year, Elimination Chamber, and she lost. So it's like they've been really building her up again after that with her winning, just mowing through everybody in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So it's, and I could, it's like I'm right for now. I'm leaning toward Nia winning the match and the title, and as much as I want it to be Tiffy time, I think Tiffy may not cash in at SummerSlam.
Gotcha.
It could happen still, but I'll be okay if she does not and waits a little bit longer.
I'd rather have
because you could have so much more fun with this alliance. Between Nia and Tiffany. It's like,
no, she shouldn't cash in
because it'll get to the point where Nia like trusts her so much that when she finally cashes in and takes the title, she won't see it coming.
Nope. So I'll move with that.
Okay, so now to the world title matches. We've got the World Heavyweight Championship, Damian Priest defending against Gunther, winner of King of the Ring. So this is one that people are kind of in some ways divided about because it's like I can see wanting to have Priest have a little bit longer run with the title, but it's the ring general is inevitable at this point.
It is, but they built it and they booked it to where I'm like, maybe Priest can actually win.
It's possible.
It just makes more sense for Gunther to win it with all the stuff that they're trying to do with the Judgment Day and Damian.
Because I see the logic for people, because people are thinking to Bash at Berlin, which is right at the end of the month.
Right.
That, they're going to be in Germany. And so, that's going to be big for Gunther. It's like, because he's from Austria, it's like, so, but he's still a heel. If they can't Priest retain at SummerSlam, and by that, and he's got to be the babyface, it's like Gunther's going to be get like the babyface treatment in Germany. I would think. You don't know with these international crowds. It's like it could happen. I mean, it's like you don't know. Like remember last year at Backlash when in Puerto Rico where they were cheering for Io over Bianca, even though Io was the heel. It's like, you could have that kind of an awkward situation. I think it makes more sense for WWE to have Gunther go into Bash at Berlin as the champ versus winning it there.
Yeah, no,
because you can easily do a rematch. Like Priest gets a rematch.
Yeah, I just feel like it's more because we're coming to the.
I could see it happen. It's like I'm not ruling it out. I just feel that it's like the way that run that he had with the IC title. I was like, Triple H is grooming him for the world championship. It's like he's going to be world championship. He's so effing good. Triple H loves this man. It's like, and he proved how awesome he is with that record run with the Intercontinental title. And then, it's like he wins King of the Ring. He beat some big names in it, especially beating Randy Orton in the finals. So it's like,
did he really pin him though? Just kidding. Keep going.
it would be weird that he would delay the momentum just for a few more weeks.
Right. No, the storylines for what the Judgment Day is trying to do.
Plus, it's like you got to have the Judgment Day turn happen, and the best way to happen that is if he loses the title.
Right, because what Rhea said on Raw was just like, you had the tag titles, and then after SummerSlam, Priest is going to keep his. I'm going to get my championship back, and everything's going to be gravy. But that's not what they're trying to say.
No. When she said that, that's where I was like, well, yeah, she's not getting the title back from Liv right now.
No.
And so it's like, that's why I think it's right. As of right now, I'm going with Gunther.
It storyline wise, it makes more sense. My heart wants Priest to win because he has freaking worked his ass off.
And this one, we don't have to worry about shenanigans because I think the turn will happen after he drops the title.
Right.
It's like, and he won't see it coming when Finn and them turn on him.
Right. So yeah, I think storyline wise, so my head says Gunther. My heart wants Priest, but that's just because they built Priest.
Yeah, they don't really. It's like they've really did a good job in the last couple months with Priest's title run.
This is
It's made to look like a good champion.
They've booked Priest extremely well, and every time Priest is asked, yes, there are a couple botches here and there, but every time they've asked Priest to do something, he's done it. So
yeah.
All right. Last match. Speaking about shenanigans.
Yeah. All right. WWE title match. Cody Rhodes defending against Solo Sikoa.
This is going to be overbooked WrestleMania 2.0.
Probably because with the Gorillas and Jacob Fatu waiting in the rings to try to help him win the match. Yeah.
So then you have Randy and Kevin Owens will still come out. Will still try and help.
I think they will return because the bloodline, they're trying to make it look like it's like Cody. The odds are stacked against Cody, and Solo's running his mouth. Say, I'm going to win the title, and it's like, it's like you got a problem with that, Roman. Too bad.
Right.
He's on the tribal chief now. What the biggest mistake they could make is Roman interferes to help Cody. That would be the biggest mistake in the book. Cody needs to win this match clean if he's going to win. There's people who think Solo should win, and then him and Roman can feud the title.
The people who think Solo should win don't like Cody Rhodes because you are going to destroy Cody Rhodes' momentum, even if for what he has. Because if Solo wins, guess what's going to happen? Roman's music is going to hit. Then he's going to come out. He's going to challenge for the title. We're back to square one where we were 2 years ago.
Exactly.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Because it's at this point, it's not about Roman's issues with Solo is not going to be about the title. It's going to be about the fact he's usurped the tribal chief position from him,
which we've been saying since WrestleMania 39.
Yeah.
If you really want The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40, you should have had Cody win.
They already foreshadowed it about how the tribal chief. Yes, he made him. He was able to say I'm the tribal chief because he was the champion, but that's not. Remember what happened last year when Jay challenged him. He didn't challenge it. He didn't challenge him for the Undisputed Championship. He challenged him for the tribal chief position at SummerSlam,
which is what Bad Blood is going to be.
The WWE Championship being on the line was secondary. Mm-hmm. It's like he didn't ask for that. He's like, no, I challenge you for tribal chief. He didn't. No, it wasn't. I want the WWE title. It was about the tribal chief position. It's like the title. The title just happened to be on the line in the match.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying I'm with you.
Civil War. There's no point in this because really, like, what? Yeah, you give the title to Solo, and then it's like because then that means Roman has to win it back from it, and it's like we had 4 years of Roman having the title. It's like he's not going to be winning the title again anytime soon.
No. So it's just like, what are we? Because you just had a big presentation after WrestleMania. Triple H basically saying like, Cody's our guy. He still is the guy, guys. Look at the merch. There's no reason for Solo to win this, because then you kill that merch sale. In a sense, but you're just basically going back, and you're all that build that you have for 2 years of Cody getting to the mountaintop. Solo wins just so Roman can take it back over. Then what the fuck did we just do? So that's why I'm saying Solo should lose, and we can still start the Roman feud. It's just I don't know how to book it. But Cody should not lose. If there's one time I'm like, Cody shouldn't lose this, this is the one, because of where we're going with the Bloodline Civil War. The title, we've been saying that forever. The title doesn't need to be involved. So my prediction is that Cody's going to win. And for God, if I'm in that writer's room, I am banging on the desk saying you can't do this, because you're just going to backtrack and get into the same situation that you were before, except one guy's now the baby face instead of being the heel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lose your top merch guy.
Well, I think
because we're going to Randy versus Cody.
You have Roman like music play, and that distracts Solo, and that lets Cody win, or do you have Cody overcome the odds, beat him clean, and then let Roman come out to confront Solo?
It's either the music or the other way around. You can't have it's nothing else, because we're all going. We want Randy versus Cody for the title.
Yes,
that's what we want. So you have the Bloodline,
and they've been foreshadowing it because it's like Randy has literally been looking at the title belt.
Right. So you want Cody.
So it doesn't look like he's just going to turn on Cody just because he's going to turn on him.
Right.
It's like they've made a very point to make sure you see that he has been looking at the title belt a lot lately, especially during that last one where he's like, it's like once this stuff was over the Bloodline, a lot of guys are going to be coming for this title. He's pointing the title and looking at it. I got your back.
Right.
It's like
that's the feud. That's the story of the title.
It's clear that he wants to take. He's going to eventually, when Cody least expects it, he's going to stab in the back and come out and try to take the title from him. That won't work if he doesn't have the title.
Right.
It's like why would Randy come after Cody if he doesn't have the title?
Right. That again, like that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying Cody should win. You can do the Cody Randy.
Right.
You go there. Then you can have the Civil War, which can go multiple directions. Of a storyline that's lasted for 5 years now at this point. But the title,
because think about it, it's like he and KO help come out when he needs it the most, helps him retain. It's like everything's cool, and then on SmackDown, it's like when he least expect it, okay, out of nowhere.
Right. So
because he's going to want to take it from Cody.
Exactly. So it makes no sense for what we see going forward.
Right.
For Solo to win the belt.
War is that's a whole family thing. It's about the tribal chief. There's when you got two warring factions, the title doesn't need to be involved in that whatsoever. And it's like it's like and then it's like, oh geez, Roman's coming after the title again so soon. It's like they're gonna have him plenty to do without him being in the title picture right away. So like
you hear this, WWE?
And again, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's just, look, I know some people are, kind of like, bored with Cody's reign, or it's like, if he was bored, if the fans thought he was the casual fans, the fans that are, going to the arenas selling out, thought he was boring, they wouldn't be going to see him. His merch wouldn't be selling like hotcakes. It's like, and after everything he went through to get that title, especially all the behind the scenes shenanigans involving The Rock and wanting to change not having win the title, and it's like the fans revolted. It's like you think they think they're gonna cut his title reign that short after the We Want Cody movement.
No.
No.
I don't.
Triple H, Vince would.
Oh yeah.
Triple H would.
I'd be more pissed off. I'll put it this way. I would be more pissed off if he lost at SummerSlam to Solo because I know where it's going, rather than him losing to The Rock at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah.
Just because of at least The Rock gonna sure, why not? Cool. It's fine. But this just diminishes everything that you were trying to build with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And you just said you went right back to 2 years ago before Cody Rhodes got the title, or at least was in the title picture. Like you just threw that all out. You just destroyed that character that he's worked his ass off to get. And that's such a Vince McMahon thing. That's what I'm saying. Just don't do this.
And besides, it's like I think it's easier for Roman to challenge Solo. Be like, it's like you call yourself the tribal chief. You couldn't beat Cody either. It's like what makes you think it's like, and that's what Roman's gonna be concerned about. It's like he's basically he's been dissing him. He's saying he's the tribal chief now.
He put his wise man through the table. He hurt his cousin. That's one thing. But his wise man, you don't touch his wise man.
Yeah. It's like he turned on Jimmy when he's like he wouldn't. It's like, and then what they did to Heyman, it's like this is like personal. It's like it has
nothing to do with the title.
Yeah.
And then I will get goosebumps when Roman and
that pop is going to be massive.
It's going to be massive. And then with him and Jacob at a face-off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's going to be fun. All right. Well, you heard us, WWE. Keep the title on Cody.
I really hope that they don't make a mistake and take the title off Cody. I think it would be a mistake.
It would be a mistake.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'll be really disappointed, but I'm not gonna like throw a temper tantrum. No. I'm just gonna be like, I'll be like the Captain Picard facepalm.
Yeah. To me right now, the title changes. They're gonna be 4, at least.
There's gonna be a couple.
Yeah. LA for sure. Braun Breaker and possibly Nia. I don't know how they're going to do that, but LA and Braun. I don't see how they don't win. Gunther and Priest is still kind of 50-50. Nia and Bayley was 50-50. Nia should probably get it. Gunther should probably get it. The only people I see
keeping their titles are Liv and Cody.
Yeah. It's just how it is and how they booked it. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a little bit longer, but hey, it's SummerSlam, so we had to preview that on top of it. But join us at the patreon.com/RuckusTV if you're trying to do any type of YouTube or anything like that. We're happy to join. We're happy to help you out. All the links below, all the Discords and all that stuff. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, all that fun jazz as we come here every Thursday. We're trying to work on some other things as far as doing some watch-alongs and stuff like that with other pay-per-views. I think we're honing in on Bad Blood. Is what the one in October is what we're kind of homing in on right now. But we're still working that out, so stay tuned to that.
Yeah.
But if anything else, join us over on the Discord where we basically talk everything that is wrestling over there on the Ruckus Wrastlin channel on the Discord. So join us over there. But on behalf of myself and my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner, we will see you all next time. Peace.